Hey guys, Jack. You know me already. So, I assume you're probably really excited about this, kind of like me, and if you're like me, you were refreshing your Instagram feed like every 30 seconds to see if Marvel had posted a new post about a new movie that they're going to release. That gets us into the video, which is the all the All MCU Phase 4 movie and TV show reveals. So I'm just going to go through a list of really me ranking all of them. So first I'm going to start off with the Phase 4 Disney Plus TV shows. So they released they announced 5 different TV shows that are going to air on the new Disney streaming service, Disney Plus. And so yeah, at number 1, I'm most excited about Loki, which releases in the spring of 2021. Why am I most excited about this? Well, it's Loki. Loki is probably... He used to be my favorite MCU villain, but now he's kind of like an anti-villain. And Thanos is my favorite now, because he's just the deepest villain. But Loki, he's just like one of my favorite characters. Second favorite villain. And I really, especially after the scene in Endgame when he takes the Tesseract, goes into a portal, and in that alternate reality, he's still alive. At least that's what we assume. That's what we assume is going on. But I'm excited to see what they do. I've heard it's kind of like in the past, could be in the future, but it's like things that he's done in the past. So it could just be a prequel thing that stays with the continuity of him dying in Infinity War. We don't know really anything about this, but I'm excited for it because it's Loki, and I'm excited to see him be the god of mischief, even some more than he already has been in the MCU. So coming in at number 2 is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. After Captain America passed on his shield to the Falcon, I'm really excited to see how they're going to deal with that. Obviously, he's not going to be able to, be as good as Chris Evans' Captain America, but I just want to see how good he can be. And the Winter Soldier, I've really loved the Winter Soldier ever since Captain America Winter Soldier. I just loved him as the villain then, and now he's kind of the good guy, but he's a really cool character, and I want to see how this TV show deals with both of them and all the things they're going to get into and all the fights they're going to have. And I think it's going to be really cool, and that releases in the fall of 2020. So at number 3 is What If. This is the first MCU animated series that's going to stay within the continuity of the MCU, only it's an animated TV show, which I think is very interesting. It releases in the summer of 2021, and if you don't really know what If is, which I really didn't till I, asked Thomas, he kind of knew what it was. But that, like for example, Thomas gave me this example. What If is a story where they ask the questions, what if, say, Uncle Ben had lived? And then you see what happens in that scenario. It's almost like an alternate timeline or reality, whatever you want to call it. But I think that's going to be really cool to see how they deal with that. That could also be a way that they bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in some way. Like, what if he had survived Endgame, and then they do that story? I think that could be really cool. But as an animated TV show, that's going to be even cooler because you can do a lot more with animation. And they announced that they're going to keep the same voices for the actors. So, like, if Captain America comes back or something, they'd have Chris Evans to voice him, or Robert Downey Jr., or Benedict Cumberbatch. They're going to have all the same actors voicing the animated characters in the show. So at number 4 is Hawkeye. Now why this is at number 4, because I love Hawkeye as a character and I really think he deserves his own TV show and everything. It's just I'm not crazy into it just because it's going to be interesting. I just think the other 3 TV shows that I have mentioned, I think they're just going to be a little bit better, and I'm just more interested in them than a story of Hawkeye. And then apparently his female counterpart, I forgot her name, but it's like a female Hawkeye, and she's going to be in this show, and I'm just not as into it. And then at number 5, Wanda and Vision. I'm really not into this at all. Oh, by the way, Hawkeye releases fall of 2021. I forgot to say that. So Wanda and Vision releases spring of 2021. I'm just not into this because Vision died at the end of Infinity War, and I'm sure they're going for like alternate timelines, or maybe they're doing like a prequel series. But that's something I'm having kind of a problem with, is all this prequel stuff. Like, I'm into Loki a lot, but still prequel stuff I have a little bit of a problem with. And that's what I have a problem with this is I know how Vision dies. I know how it all ends. So why do this? I just don't see the point in it at all. I don't think Wanda or Vision are very compelling characters, and they're really not my favorites at all. They're at the bottom of the list of my favorites. So I'm just not into it. So that's the 5 Phase 4 Disney Plus TV shows that they announced at San Diego. Was it San Diego? I can't remember. The Comic-Con 2019. So now, or Hall H. So now Phase 4 movies that they announced. At number 1, I'm most excited about. I didn't expect this to happen. Blade. All right, it has no release date yet. They don't have a release date yet for it. But after so many years of, I think it's 2 Blade movies that they released a while ago. After so many years of that not happening, and that actor really being an irreplaceable Blade, they've got Mahershala Ali to play Blade in the new MCU Blade movie, which they announced, and I was super surprised about this. I did not see it coming at all, and I'm super excited to see how they deal with this character in a PG-13 manner, unless they do decide to do rated R, but I doubt they'll do that. But I'm really excited about this. At number 2 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which releases May 7th of 2021. Now, this is really interesting, and I'm super excited about this just because of the title that it has, In the Multiverse of Madness. It shows that they're going to deal with the multiverse in more depth and with Doctor Strange, so you can be sure that it's definitely more real than it was in Spider-Man Far From Home. Little bit of a Spider-Man Far From Home spoiler there. The only problem I have is the title. It sounds kind of like a video game. Like if I didn't know much about the MCU and someone came up to me and said, "Have you heard about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?" I'd be like, "You talking about a video game? I don't really play many video games." And they'd be like, "No, it's an MCU movie about Doctor Strange." I'd be like, "All right, sounds interesting." But the title just, it's interesting. It just sounds too much like a video game for me. And number 3 is Black Widow, which releases May 1st, 2020. It's the next MCU movie that's going to release after Far From Home, of course. I'm just interested in this because ScarJo finally has her own movie. It's about Black Widow. The only problem I have is we know how she dies, and she's already dead, and I'm just kind of like, what's the point? So yeah, then at number 4 is Thor, Love, and Thunder, which releases November 5th, 2021. That's a long ways away. Directed by Taika Waititi, confirmed, and I don't know about the title. It doesn't catch me. It's one of those titles where you can't just say, "Hey, have you seen Love and Thunder?" Because it's like, what are you talking about? It sounds like a documentary or something, or some, I don't know, rom-com. I would rather say Thor 4. Unlike Ragnarok, where I can say, hey, have you seen Ragnarok? The title just doesn't catch me. But of course I'm interested in it because Taika is directing it, and he directed Ragnarok, so I'm super excited about that. So now at number 5 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm excited, which releases February 12th, of 2021. I'm excited about this movie because it's going to go more in depth with the Mandarin and the Ten Rings, which Mandarin is an Iron Man villain, and Iron Man is my favorite character, so that obviously makes me excited about this movie. I don't know anything about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, though. I know a little bit about the Mandarin, and that nobody liked the twist about him not actually being the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Anyway, at number 6 is The Eternals, which releases November 6th, 2020. And it's going to be the movie after ScarJo's Black Widow. See, I don't know much about this. It's kind of like, it seems like MCU's X-Men kind of type thing. I don't know, it's at the bottom of the list. I'm excited. I think it'll be a good movie because it's Marvel, but just not too excited about it like I am, say, about Doctor Strange or Thor or Blade or all that, So that's why it's at the bottom of the list. So now, that's my ranking of all of the announced Phase 4 movies and TV shows. So let's run through again. We have Loki. We have The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We have What If? Hawkeye, Wanda and Vision. And then for the movies, we have Blade, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Black Widow, Thor, Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Eternals. So there you go. That's all the announcements. Also, I have to say, I know Thomas already said this, but Endgame finally beat Avatar at the box office and is now at $2.789 billion. And the fact that it happened at Hall H, I think, is really cool. And so, yeah, that's all I got to say for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, hit this video with one of those likes. Subscribe if you want to see more of this, hopefully good quality content. And, yeah, so see you next time on Thomas and Jack Do Movies, and peace out.